let's do something simple. Simple seems like a really, really good plan. Also warm, because weather being weather, I look forward to the return of summer, but I cannot cause it. So let's make something a little warmer. Behold, a gorgeous shawl that was probably originally sold as 36 by 80. Bought it from the secondhand shop for $6 because it's lovely and fuzzy, and I washed it and dried it, so apparently not wool, but yeah, feels good. Let's do a very rectangular construction shirt, huh? If you're upset with me for cutting it up, I don't blame you. But as much as I want to be a shawl person, I'm not a shawl person. So we're making it into something I will use. That's what's important, right? In theory. So usually I make tunic length things, but I really do not want to sit on this beautiful embroidery. So I grabbed a more shirt length rectangular construction situation. I have no imagination. Is that missing a motif? Holy crap. It is, isn't it? Oh, that's so cool. Oh, that's so cool. Oh my god. So, anyway. Oh, gonna cut it across. I was looking at the cutoff piece and thought that isn't as wide as I want a sleeve, so I dragged this back down from off the dresser, and apparently that is a just fine sleeve situation. Rock on. So, the piece that we cut off, I cut it in half, and now we have one sleeve, another sleeve, and a really wide body. I'm going to very, very carefully flat fill everything together, and then we'll see where we stand. I see bunny toes, little bitty bunny toes. If you're new here, hi, welcome, and this is how I do a flat filled seam, because I'm a one-trick pony and it's basically the only seam I do. But it's nice and enclosed and leaves no raw edges or unpleasant textures against your skin, because I'm obsessed with textures, either making or avoiding them. So I sew the two pieces of fabric stepped like that. Doing it for realsies, people go in and trim the inner one off and then have a long noodle of fabric, and no, I'm good. But my sewing is not expecting accuracy. So the way I do it works for me. And then we have that, and the black thread is not nearly so obvious against the navy fabric in any light other than this. So, good news. Plenty of wiggle room. Bad news. I think I need a head hole next for, try on purposes. So I did this shape for a neck hole, which is pretty arbitrary, but I wanted it to be narrow because winter shirt, and I want it to have a tie and then a cutout, because then I don't have to worry about weird V-neck issues quite as much, because those are difficult, especially when this is close enough to that. This is a Goodwill Bin scarf, and I'm going to use it to bias things. Seems like a good idea. This is nice and soft. Oh, also, okay, so one good thing about a neck hole is there's a hole. I can patch it. And the other thing is I got to do a burn test when it had a shiny bead but crushed easily, and I'm going to go look up what that means now. So the internet assures me that being somewhat hesitant to burn and also having beads that crush really easily and not stinking like plastic means it's wool, which is what I thought it felt like. But I washed it and I dried it, and when I said it was sold as 36 by 80, it is a little bit smaller, but not much. So pre-shrunk wool coated in plastic, I don't know. Anyway, I'm happy. Yay, natural fibers. mostly, probably, and proceeding. So the length I had for the neck only leaves that long for a tie, which is stupid looking. But I figure it's enough for a knot, and if I do tassels on both of them with this, that works with the color scheme and would be pretty and heavy. Yeah. Maybe not tassel, maybe singular loop of bead. So, the binding thing. Your binding fabric eats the edge you're trying to hide, so you don't have to hem it. And then if you're me, and you're not worried about stitches showing, you just sew it down and go all the way around like that. I love it! Alright, so I want to gather the sleeves in using the same bias as here and here, right? But first I'm gonna come in on both sides and put a couple pleats here, narrow up the body, narrow up the shoulders a little bit, and that'll make this shorter. And then we'll see where we stand. And we're almost done. Yay, simple. It is objectively hilarious that I am doing this as a YouTuber on the week of Halloween, but yeah, I suck at holidays anyway, so this is so pretty. So I guess we'll find out together if this works, because I really carefully squared up some pleats using the very straight shoulder seam, right? And then I realized the whole mess is inside out. And I thought, you know what, that inside out, sewing a pleat, and then we'll turn it right side out and flatten the pleat and sew it down. At least that's what I'll be doing in like 45 seconds or so. We'll see how that looks. I think I really like this. So if you mash the pleat so that the middle of the pleat lines up with the crap, like that, then it looks like this from the outside. And then I'm going to be a doofus and take needle and thread and stitch it all down so I don't have to worry about it misbehaving in the washing machine. But that's pleasant. Teeny tiny stitches. Na-na. I think that long is enough that I can take some of this fabric and gather the crap out of this, and it'll be perfectly good. I did add another, another lazy little pleat right here. So this one was the one you saw me do, and then this one's like half the size of it. And so that's what that looks like. Honestly, this ends up looking like the shoulder seam, which is way the hell down on my arm. So that's kind of a cool effect. You get a shoulder seam without having to worry about fitting an arm side. Is that cool? I think it is. So, taking a nice boring rectangle and making it into a nice boring tube. And then we will cram the end of the sleeve in it. A little button would be nice here, but come on, thread. Honestly, even on my purchase shirts, that's just a courtesy. I just leave it buttoned and slide my hand in. So it's not something I'm going to worry about with this particular piece. Is my thread too long? Yes, probably. I always cut my threads too long. It's okay. Still works. So this would be a good time to run a row of gathering stitches at the very end of the sleeve and make it the right size. But I just did that all out of frame, didn't I? Look, it's a pleat. I'm cramming it in there. I'm going to stitch it down, and then I'm going to do the next pleat the exact same way. Because for whatever reason my brain accepts that as the easiest way to approach this. So I finished this up, put it on, wore it to the grocery store, and on the way home from the grocery store, remembered, wait, there was a hole somewhere on here I'm supposed to be patching. So right there. Took the scrap from the smaller hole right at the neck, and we're just sewing it onto the back here from the front so I can watch the size of the stitches and also not cross over any embroidery, because then that would be more visible. Yeah. Also, let me show you something I remember being proud of. Where's the neck? There it is. This? Oh, that's how I wound up doing the tassels. I'm sure there are better ways I could have done that. Did I say that already? But they're done and they're pretty. But this hole right here, I cut out one of these little buttons. I just cut right around it so it's all centered and surrounded by, yeah, I like. Let me finish that up and then we'll do the reveal. I should also confess that putting this binding on the bottom edge stiffened it. I could have left it just raw, kind of frayed like it was originally, but this kind of stiffened it and didn't add that much weight, so it sticks out more now. Might go away with washing, might not. I don't mind it, but I like it. But you should be warned that this apparently changes the shape of changes the drape. Anyway.
Rotated.
There's not really any more views. It's a shirt. Yeah?
Yeah.
Hello. So I was curious how this would look on a slender person. In this case over a velvet Morticia Addams dress, because Halloween, whatever, but thank you, love. Okay, for the sake of science, that. I think if you're shaped like, if I was making this scarf into something for her, I think it would be a dress. Turn around again. Although it's clearly very comfy. Why do you look good in everything, you little monster? Huh? It's unfair.